Hello, my name's Mark. This is my first testimonial for the Magic Pill, and I'm 49 years old. I was married 19 years, and I've now been divorced, just coming up for probably about 3.5, 4 years now. I've got 3 lovely children who all live with me, who's 21, 20 and 19. I work in a family business and have done since, basically all my life. It's the only job I've known. And, it's, as I've worked there, it's grown and grown. At the moment, how's my life at the moment? Well, basically, the business is really struggling at the moment. The last 2 years, it hasn't been particularly profitable. My father, who's 78, he's still basically in charge of the business and hasn't never retired. At the moment, it just makes me have a tremendous guilt that I'm not pulling my weight or taking over so he can retire. The last 10 years of my life has been, sort of pretty turbulent, with my wife having affairs, and when that happened, I just tended to lose all my concentration from work. And although I was there, I didn't feel as if I was doing anything. I was just finding it very hard to concentrate, remember things, constantly keep going off into dreams. It just almost felt as my head was so full, I couldn't fit another thing in, and anything else, any problems at work, it just seemed to pile on to me. Also, I feel tremendous pressure from my father, that obviously the family business, my 2 sisters work in that business, and so there's almost like an obligation to keep it going, because that's where they earn their living from. At present, I've had a couple of girlfriends since I've been divorced, but nothing really sort of I can call long term. Things that I want away from my life. I've always had a certain amount of anxiety. I'm not comfortable sitting here really doing this sort of little video. So basically, I want anxiety. When meeting new people, taken out of my life. I don't want to feel sort of like laziness. I need to feel motivated so I can get things done. I want laziness so I can get things done. Like low self-esteem, I just don't feel good about myself at the moment. And then part of it, sort of like that inner belief in yourself, I want to, get rid of a lack of confidence. Obviously, at the moment, sort of like a fair amount of money worries. I want to get out of the way. Just need to try and sort of focus and get the business sort of like back on track. And in the past, it's managed to provide a reasonable living for all our family. Just at the moment, it's just lacking. And other thing I want out of my life is bad relationships. I just really want to, someone who truly cares and someone I can care for. Now, moving on, things that I would like to have in my life. I'd love to meet someone and love to be loved, and to love someone. I just feel, a little bit empty at the moment. I want to try and get back to like happiness. So if people actually ask me if I'm happy, I'm congruent with it. I can generally say that I am happy. I need to have more enthusiasm, to motivate, the team of people around me, and get them to get things done, get the business going. some days, I just feel, going into work, I feel my energy drained. I also want to try and get the energy going. I obviously come across, the magic pill from like the P Memory site. I did try doing that for a little while, but again, my attention span just went, and I do feel that I sometimes have my short-term memory of like, when I'm interacting with people, in real time. It sort of isn't spontaneous. I keep, sort of. It takes me a while to process information that's coming at me. So it's that short-term memory. I like to be able to, have my limits. When what's acceptable to me and what's not. Have my own opinion. Sometimes people just ask me, they say to me, what's your favourite film or what's your favourite? And it's really hard. I have to really dig deep to see what actually means anything to me. I just seem to have just gone like so cold. I'm not in touch with myself. So how can I be in touch with other people? I like to have some financial freedom, so that I can, sort of do things more with my children. And, if I had financial freedom, it'd just feel like if it's a major weight off my shoulders. I also like to try and, have more respect, from people, and generally I'd just like to be able to communicate with people so much more better. People, friends, work colleagues. I don't want to be one of these people where someone you go through life and they say, "Who was that?" No one actually knows you. I want people to actually know, who I am, and be noticed, have some impact. Again, I turned around and said, I've done a variety of self-help. I've had hypnosis, marriage counselling. I've done NLP business practitioner courses, which I think helped a lot. I probably have come quite a way since 2000, but still sort of like just bumbling along. When I say I want financial security, financial wealth, I'm not adverse to working for it, because I think that's where you get the confidence and your self-esteem, because you feel as if you've actually done something. But it's just sort of, I can't actually keep it going. To that extent, it's like my attention span just seems to wander. So basically, that's that is me, and hoping that with talking to Ines that we'll be able to just resolve some of these issues and get me back working, and get me feeling different about myself. That's why I feel I need the magic pill. Thank you.